The children of America are our most precious resource. The future hope of this nation rests upon their development and potential. Physical and sexual abuse endangers that future and shatters the innocence and their purity of childhood. Hello, my name is Dr. Carolyn T. Long, and I'm a therapist, minister, author, and consultant. And I want to talk to you about the subject of protecting your church, protecting your children. And the subtitle of this video is Making Your Children Safe from Child Sexual Abuse. Does your church have children? I can't imagine a church without any children. Jesus said in Matthew 19:14 and again in Luke 18:16, he said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." Now, when a child has been sexually abused, they may come to Jesus and claim him as Savior, but they may have a very difficult time allowing him to be Lord of their lives because they are not really sure that they can trust the Jesus who allowed the horrible thing of sexual abuse to happen to them. What we know about children who have been sexually abused is just that they do have a difficult time living the abundant life that Jesus came to give to them. Child sexual abuse has reached epidemic proportions in our country, and it is the most critical legal and moral problem facing the church today. Let me give you some statistics. The statistics reveal that 1 in 3 girls or 1 in 3 women have been sexually abused by age 18. And if you include exhibitionism as a form of that sexual abuse, then that statistic goes to at least 52%. That's more than half of women who have been sexually violated by the time they're age 18. 1 in 7 boys have been sexually violated by age 18. And men are responsible for 90% of the abuse. Now, this is not to say that women also this is not to say that women don't abuse, but 90% of all abuse is perpetrated by men. 1 out of 5 abusers begin their career before age 18, and some statistics suggest by age 15. As much as 56% of all reported cases of child molestation or abuse, and by the way, I'm using those words interchangeably, are committed by adolescents. And 1 in 4 families is affected by childhood sexual abuse. Statistics reveal that 89% of all children who are sexually abused are abused by someone who knows the child and someone who has won that child's trust. That means that only 11% of abusers are the stranger. And so we need to be more concerned about the child who is closely related to the child or in close proximity to the child than we need to be concerned about stranger danger. Although the majority of abuse occurs within the home or within or among people who know the child, over 30% of all cases involve adults in daycare centers, in schools, in educational institutions, in sporting events, and unfortunately in the church or in spiritual programs such as the church. Incidents of child sexual abuse cuts across all racial, social, economic, and religious boundaries. And while all races and ethnicities experience child sexual abuse, in 2000, more than half of all reported victims of childhood sexual abuse were Caucasian. 1/4, or 25%, were African Americans. Since African Americans are only approximately 12% of the population. Thus, you see the disproportionate amount of sexual abuse that is being reported from the African American community. While all races and ethnicities experience the trauma of sexual abuse, how one responds to the abuse depends on their ethnic or their cultural experience. For example, the history of slavery and oppression in the African American community further impacts whether or not this case of sexual abuse will be reported. As a way of emphasizing this point, secrecy allows sexual abuse to continue. So therefore, we must break the silence. Perhaps you are a pastor and you're thinking, this could never happen in my church. Well, it might seem impossible that such a heinous thing could happen in your church. But as I've stated, and as the statistics reflect, if your church has children, then your church is at risk. One allegation of sexual abuse in your church, and notice I'm saying allegation, I'm not saying one proven case. One allegation of sexual abuse in your church could devastate an individual, a family, and can divide or split your ministry right down the middle. Child sexual abuse is devastating. It causes deep and sometimes lifelong psychological damage to the victim. As a church in your community, not only can you embrace a prevention program that will assure the safety and well-being of the children and the families in your church, but you can also impact your community if you will join with other churches to be sure that our children are protected. Once you decide to address this issue in your church, then you as a pastor or a church leader can take 3 relatively simple steps that can significantly reduce the likelihood of child sexual abuse happening in your church. Workshops that I can provide for you have the following goals. Number 1, protecting your children and your youth from potential child sexual abuse by providing a safe environment for the children who are entrusted in your care at your church. Number 2, protecting your church leaders and youth workers from any personal litigation and liability by reducing the legal risk and legal liability. And number 3, providing compassionate ministry care to those persons in your church who are victims of child sexual abuse. Remember I said that 1/3 of all women by age 18 have been sexually abused, and 1 in 7 men have been sexually abused by age 18. That means that if you're sitting in your congregation and you have 100 women, approximately 33% of those women have experienced the trauma of child sexual abuse. And if it's not something that's being addressed in your church openly, then those women do not find the avenue for their healing. So that's what I mean by that 3rd step, is taking that step to provide compassionate care from a place of knowledge to that segment of the population who needs that extra touch from you as a pastor. Reducing the Risk is a comprehensive program which was developed by Church Law and Tax Report in Matthews, North Carolina, has a series of videos to help you as a pastor to develop a prevention program. If you would like more information about this and other services provided by First Seek the Kingdom Education, Counseling, and Consulting Services, then do contact me at the contact information that is scrolling on the screen. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to your contact.